Just when you thought maybe we weren't going to go on tonight, maybe we were going to have other things to do, maybe we were just going to get ready for the weekend early. Not so fast, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot to talk about here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform where all music and wrestling matters. And there is no better man to start the weekend off here early with a man that always has an indie vision when it comes to the wrestling world, who a man who leaves plenty ablaze with a money mark media that he has certainly run to the top like the titan that he is. And he's going to talk about what he's been up to. He's going to talk about what's next. And maybe we'll get his reactions on some usual names. And this guy, Brohemoth, that came on here, and boy, did he certainly leave a trail. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about maybe the Indie Division champion, Pepper Pride, going north of the border. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Godric Sandwell and rather a melancholy Facebook Live yesterday. Tommy Hart did a July 4th Facebook Live. Well, it wasn't quite as long as the day Jameson won, but maybe we won't bring up the day Jameson won. But we'll definitely talk about a slew of things, and I am sure that will bring up this guy, Daniel Tafu. Plus, I'll have some shout outs and I'll have a surprise for our guest, and it may be a collective thing he gets. No, not Dave Jameson and Ampo the Destroyer, not the collective. They've already been on Sportswire. Dave's already gotten his time. But I know that our guest is chomping at the bit here to talk about what he's been up to, and I am going to make sure that we get to it. But before I do it, in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, ladies and gentlemen, let's get rocked, because I see some people in our chat have arrived. I've even commented myself in the chat to get the chat going. So it is now time to start the show off here and the weekend in style on the number one global radio station, Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one global sports show. A man that is one of the hosts of the Indie Vision podcast. A man that has certainly left quite a mark as the owner of Money Mark Media. And a man who stands tall as a titan in the wrestling circuit today. His name is simply put, Timothy
No, I'm ready. thank you very much for having me here today once again, Mr. Bryce. I want to say hello to Zilla right away. What's going on,
How
Zilla?
are we doing? How are we
We are doing
my
great this evening. I want to thank you so much for having me here once again. It's an honor to be here. I love being here with you. That's you 100% best Tim introduction in the business right here.
Yeah, I really put an extra on that because I wasn't here yesterday, and I was kind of slow on the time. Like, well, let me just keep going with it. And yeah, I was fired up. I had a good meal in Manhattan earlier this evening, and I have a few shout outs I want to get to. You're here. We're in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. It is good to be back home. It is good to have you, Timothy Titan. I've got certainly a gift that I have collectively for you and the Indie Vision podcast gang. But let's talk about, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you, Money Mark Media, and the Indie Vision podcast have certainly helped build Sportswire Radio to the tune of over 1,500 plus subscribers. What you been up to?
I mean, I've gone back into the media a bit more here, to be honest. I'm gonna go back into editing more, start doing more media stuff. Start watching the Money Mark Media channel more. I got a bunch of stuff about to hit on there. Good. I'm gonna have starting in it. I'm thinking 10 days. I was trying to get it around the beginning of August, but I think I'm gonna do it a little earlier. I'm gonna start doing 2 videos a day on the Money Mark Media channel at least. So
wow,
I'm gonna try to start getting the YouTube presence up more. I'm gonna try to start getting the social media presence up more. And instead of thinking locally, I'm gonna start thinking globally.
What? Wow, 2 videos. You're gonna do 2 interviews a day?
I'm not saying interviews. I'm saying videos because we have some other footage too. So it might be an interview in a match or 2 matches or something along those lines.
Because I was going to say, I've done 3 interviews in a day, and I physically can't do that again. I mean, I've done that before. I've done 3 in a day. I've done, 2 a days, several times in a row. I mean, to do 2 interviews a day, I mean, you would certainly be the visionary that you are. If you could pull that off, God bless you. But yeah, 2 videos a day.
Way. I know after 2 interviews in one day, I would be out of question asking ability. So.
Well, I wouldn't have that problem. I would just be exhausted from doing the intros and then having to go yell and scream.
Oh, yeah.
You
got to basically be like a late 90s Atlanta fan for the first 10 minutes of the
I would have to be an Atlanta Braves and a Florida State Seminoles fan like 24 hours a day. Although it's funny.
Speaking of Atlanta Braves, I've always meant to ask you, is that Tom Seaver on the wall behind you?
Not quite.
Who is that on the wall behind you?
Believe it or not quite. Steve Carlton.
Okay.
I have a story about
it. It looks like part of the Tom Seaver delivery.
No, well, it's Steve Carlton, who, of course, famously won 27 games on the 1972 Philadelphia Phillies, who won 59 games. But I got this when I was a kid. Growing up in Brooklyn, there was a toy store, Wonderland Toys. And for Christmas one year, my aunt at the time, who my uncle was a diehard baseball fan, for Christmas got me a Steve Carlton poster with the plaque.
Okay.
And I've had it for since I'm like this. So yeah, it's Steve Carlton, won 300 plus games, pitched for the Phillies and the Cardinals and the Indians. And yes, a New York guy has a Steve Carlton thing on his wall. That's me. Yeah. I
mean, real
Steve
recognize
Carlton.
real, right? That's what
he
what
was
the
to
kids say
me.
nowadays.
Listen,
real recognize real.
He was one of the greatest of all time, but I know our chat's not here to talk to us about Steve Carlton. But no, I think that's good. I'm going to put the Indie Vision YouTube up. I'm going to put Money Mark Media social medias up, but that's exciting. So we're going to have some match content maybe. That's something that a lot of people really would like to see more of, some matches out there. That's a great idea.
It's been rough. That's been part of my issue, is figuring out exactly what to do with all these matches and how to present them. So I think I'm just going to start putting them out individually, and that way the people in the match have them to share and whatnot also. So
that's a good idea. And I know that there's some matches out there that people will certainly want to watch. And we certainly can, I guess maybe we can talk about the one show you put out there. Maybe we can't mention the name of the company, but We can talk about the
We can
overall.
talk about whatever, bro. I'm an open book.
Well,
I'm an open book as always.
I know you're an open book, but I certainly want to make sure that you continue to have books that we can read about. But what was your experience then? Yeah, let's keep it the positive here. But what was your experience last month running a show, and how did you like that experience, and how did it feel to put that show together?
It was different than the LAW stuff for sure, running in Pittsburgh in comparison to like Parkersburg, because you're in more of a major city. So we got a better turnout. Like I said, it was really cool because the locker room I had was very what's the word I'm looking for? The morale was high in the locker room. Like people wanted to be there. It felt like people wanted to be there. Everybody was there to have a good time and put on a good match, and you could tell. Like right away, the energy was really nice.
Does that give you a confidence that whatever the future may be going forward, that you can do this again, whatever the future may bring?
Yeah, it gives me the confidence to know that I guess that I know what kind of people to bring together at least. Like, you know what I mean? I got good friends. I know the people I know in the business are good that I'm bringing into stuff like that. Like, I've never really had an issue with anybody backstage or anything like that before, even like in the entire time I've been booking or anything like that. So,
well, that's a good
other
thing,
than the one issue, but it's not out of anybody I booked. So,
okay, well, listen, nobody's perfect. Everyone's going to have their issues, those things happen. But I think that that's a positive to obviously go out there, feel like that everybody was happy. It was a good environment. It was a well-attended show. And that it gives you that it gives you your feet. It gets your feet under you. It gets your feet under you knowing that whatever comes, that you'll do even better because you'll have had that one show under your belt where you had obviously a monumental match that I'll put the footage up for in a few minutes that obviously really shows going forward that Money Mark Media is here to stay, and it's here to stay for a very long time.
And I'm going to guess you're talking about the Dave Jameson KJ Orso match, which is already out on the Money Mark Media YouTube channel.
Yes,
the first video I plan on releasing, the first match that will come out as part of this package thing will be Soul Taker versus Godric Sandwell from the same show. So,
ooh, and Godric was on Facebook yesterday, and I really wasn't sure what to make of Godric's Facebook. I caught some of his Facebook, and I mean, I think he's trying to figure out his future. He's going to some places next, and other places, I guess we'll have to stay tuned. But that's very exciting to get a chance to see that coming to Money Mark Media near you.
Godric Sandwell could go anywhere he wanted to, realistically. He's a beyond talented guy. I mean, he's got the drive. He's absolutely humble while also being one of the most talented dudes in the locker room at any given point. So I have a lot of faith in Godric Sandwell.
And he got, for a spoiler alert for those that may or may not know, he got one of the biggest wins, or if not the biggest win of his career there at that show you promoted, defeating the Soul Taker. I mean, certainly the Soul Taker's soul mattered there. I mean, that's a huge victory. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a chance to talk about it with Godric because I think it was 2 days later that, different things happened. But still, nevertheless, we'll get a chance to see that on your page. And I think it's exciting to see some more interviews potentially. And, speaking of big guys, I mean, Brohemoth had some things to say. And Brohemoth seems like he zeroed in on two people. There were two people he zeroed in on 2 days ago on Sportswire. One of them was Daniel Tafua, and the other guy was a guy I know very well, who was a disciple of this man Rhino that you were supposed to have had on here, but stuff happened. But in terms of whatever your show was going to be, but we'll leave that at that. But guy James Fury was an extra in MLW last year. This guy's made quite a name for himself. He's also very good friends with your Indie Division champion Pepper Pride, and Brohemoth seemed to zero in on those two names. And what do you think about that? First of all, the idea of Brohemoth and Daniel Tafua. Daniel Tafua had problems with the Soul Taker, and now he's going to want Brohemoth. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, you know my feelings on Brohemoth. I think that if Brohemoth actually gave Tafua a match, he'd be giving him a handout, basically. I mean, Brohemoth is a level above everybody, in my opinion.
I know,
You know that.
and
That's my boy
Brohemoth
right there. So
I know. I'm a big Brohemoth fan, and Daniel. I love Daniel. I love saying Daniel Tafua's name. I smile every time I see Daniel Tafua.
Danny knows I'm a huge fan of him too. That's the thing. It's just you got to get a little bit better, then maybe you can get Brohemoth.
If you couldn't beat the Soul Taker, yeah, if you couldn't beat the Soul Taker, how are you beating Brohemoth right now?
Yeah. See, there's the match I want: Soul Taker versus Brohemoth. There's the match I want. I'm glad
you said that. I brought that up on Tuesday's show. Now that would be, you are obviously one of the premier promoters around. You are obviously the man that stands tall as the indie vision when it comes to our circuit. I mean, that's a dream match. That's a main event almost anywhere.
Absolutely. That's the match that I'd like to see in the future. If we're talking Brohemoth dream matches, because I got to see him in PB Smooth, which is another match that will be coming out on Money Mark Media soon.
Yeah.
Is Brohemoth versus PB Smooth. So
Pretty Boy Smooth, yeah.
Look for that one coming up soon also.
And then Brohemoth had mentioned what a small world wrestling is because, like I said, James Fury, a guy that I know very well for a long time. I've known him for about 4 years. Brohemoth has wrestled him once upon a time, and he seemed like he wanted to wrestle him. James Fury's a guy that is out of Michigan. He's also somebody that's wrestled in many of the same promotions as Pepper Pride, and that is a match I have to say that I would also personally like to see. Brohemoth and James Fury.
I've seen a bit of James Fury. I haven't seen a lot, nor have I ever met him, but I've heard great things about him. So sure. I would like to see that match, having seen what I've seen of him. But there's another one that his name is the Suplex Shogun. I cannot remember Jackson Stone, maybe. I think I'm wrong though.
Yeah, I think
that's another Brohemoth match I was saying. Yeah, he calls himself the Suplex Shogun. Now, I think that's another match that would be an incredible match.
Yeah, this Brohemoth, just this man coming on here, he is definitely the gaming monster, and he's quite a gigabyte giant. And this man, I mean, what impressive ability he has in the ring, and what an impressive showing he had here on Sportswire Radio 2 days ago. He was literally swatting comments away from Daniel Tafua. He was swatting comments from anyone in the chat to challenge him. I mean, this man, I tell you what, he could be one of the greatest attractions, and you are so close with this man. I mean, just think about where Money Mark Media can go, the heights it can reach, the Titan-like levels it will be because of you and your attraction, Brohemoth. I can't wait to see Brohemoth back in the ring with you promoting him. I mean, it's a dream, and what an honor it was to have him.
And don't forget, we've only had the one show, but Brohemoth is still technically the Money Mark champion right now. So he's the Wrestling for Everybody Money Mark champion. Don't forget that. So that's him and Pepper Pride. Those are my champions right now.
Well, Mr. Brohemoth didn't seem to mention that, but he is going to certainly remember that. He was talking about this guy, Daniel Tafua, who is here, and he does continue to go out and comment about him and Brohemoth. And, I mean, he is the USWA Universal Champion and the Wrestling's for Everyone Champion. I mean, it could be a title versus title match, but, maybe Daniel Tafua should focus on someone else, it seems
if
like.
I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I would say, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Universal title that Tafua has, though, has a stipulation where the fans vote the opponent for every defense.
I believe you're
for Brohemoth to get. Yeah, so I believe for Brohemoth to actually get a shot at that title, he'd have to be voted in. So maybe the fans are in charge of this one.
That's going to certainly be an interesting point. And I do want to give a plug before I do anything here. Let's promote, first of all, the Money Mark Media. We're going to promote the Indie Vision podcast as well. But I want to put this up here for the audience because we're going to talk about a very important match here to promote Mr. Timothy Titan in a minute here. But hit the sub button. I see a bunch of people in and out of the chat on YouTube. So if you are here, please go out and support Money Mark Media. They're also on Instagram, They are also on Facebook. We are very honored and delighted to be here with Timothy Titan again. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. And we'll take this off. This is going to make the hockey line change. I'm going to come up and put the match up here for a few minutes and talk about it, because obviously it is a match that has gotten you a lot of attention, a lot of views. I want to get right to it here. And that is, of course, this artist formerly known as Fuego del Sol, now KJ Orso, taking on a man that you have quite a history with, and a man that has had quite a number of things here in the wrestling world of late, Mr. Day Jameson. And certainly what an honor it was to have watched this match. You got a chance to promote it, and I wanted to put it up for a little while and just talk to me about your memories of it.
So this was a match requested by Day, and when I first realized that I could make it happen, it kind of made me nervous for the kid at first. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, you're going to get in the ring with a veteran that is going to show zero mercy at this point, because he wasn't wrestling Fuego del Sol. Don't forget that. He was wrestling KJ Orso, who is a completely different monster from what we've seen, and you can ask Sam Stackhouse about that. But yeah, I'm not going to lie when I say I was beyond impressed by how well Day Jameson showed up for this match. And I honestly think if it wasn't for a bit of interference, that he might have had the best of KJ Orso.
What do you think this does for Day Jameson's career going forward, to be able to hang in with somebody that he obviously idolized, somebody that was a part of AEW, somebody that is one of the most talked about figures, certainly in all of wrestling? And what do you think this will do for Day Jameson's career in the ring going forward?
I think it gives him that "you're wrong" link to send to people of, you can't hang with the best of the best, and then he sends him the link of this match as a "you're wrong," and here's proof that you're wrong, because there's the full video of the full match here where I hung with the best of the best.
No question about that. There is no question that to be able to go out there and put on a match with somebody of this caliber, I mean, you think, and you know, for you as a promoter, by the way, I mean, to be able to have this match and to have gotten the response that it's gotten, I mean, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel to be able to have put on this match and the response it's gotten? How does that feel for you from afar?
I mean, I feel honored to have been able to even book KJ Orso, and I feel honored to continually be able to book Day Jameson. So every match I book, I consider an honor, and this was no different.
But this is another. This is a man that we everybody knows what he did in AEW. He's everywhere, and to have this man of this caliber on your first show, I mean, that's just just shows why you are a visionary. You are legitimately an indie visionary.
Had to throw the old thing. I mean, like I said, this match was more requested by Day, so I kind of got to give Day the credit on this match, if I'm being honest. So Day was really the visionary.
But you're the booker. Listen, you're the booker. You put it together.
I'm ready to take credit. Don't get me wrong. You know I will take any credit I feel like I.
I'm trying to promote them.
This isn't something I don't think this is a match I don't know if I would have ever thought of if it wasn't for Day bringing it up to me. And then once he said it, I was like, you know what? You're right. That would be a good one. Let's do it. And somehow by the grace of God, I made it happen.
I want to give a special shout out to a couple of people that are watching this in a minute, but I want to go and say something in a general form and tell me your thoughts on this, because obviously you have done a lot recently for the careers of three people, and one of them we're watching in Day Jameson. Second is Godric Sanwell, the gentleman of exquisite caliber, and the third is Pepper Pride. Pepper Pride obviously is your Indie Vision champion, and if I were to say to you that these are three of the more bigger up-and-coming stars right now, at least in the Northeast, and you had a hand in helping promote their careers, how does that make you feel?
It feels good based on who it is. That's the thing. You named three absolutely amazing talents who are not only great talents, but in my opinion, great people also in Pepper and Day and Godric. I mean, it's three people that could go anywhere. They could have a main event with anybody, a match with anybody, in my opinion. You could put them three in the ring together and get an amazing match. Like, it's just, I had the benefit of having three very, very talented people near me right in the beginning.
For sure, but I think it's important that you were able to. Listen, I know there's been a lot of different things that have happened. I'm not a dummy in the last few weeks, but I take away the last few months, what you've done for those three wrestlers and the caliber of what they've done. Certainly in Day Jameson here, Godric Sandwell beating the Soul Taker, going out there and wrestling Dante Casanova, who's got an NWA championship.
Another great match. Another great match.
I hope to get to see it one day and hope to be able to one day talk about it.
You will.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's coming out.
Yeah, well, I knew you'd be the man to talk about it. Everybody else is probably going to shy away from it because of the different things out there. And then, with Pepper, I've been talking about Pepper before. I met you about 4 or 5 months ago. I mean, Pepper, again, is a disciple of Rhino, and Pepper is going to wrestle in Canada here. I'm sure you heard about this. Pepper is going to wrestle in Ontario. Yeah. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment.
See, of the three that you named, I think Pepper is a bit of a level ahead because I think that I didn't help her get eyes on herself. I think that she would have been able to get the same amount of eyes on her regardless. I think I just got lucky of seeing it before a lot of other people did. When it comes to Day and Godric, I know that I've helped them get eyes on them that never would have saw them. And I feel good about that for sure.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that because, Day and Godric were certainly around, but I think Pepper, and again, she's obviously, as I said, a protege of Rhino's, and she's been in there with a lot of big names in different companies, so that kind of helps in giving you some experiences. So that's definitely for sure. And there's a lot of other people here that you've helped, and I'll get to some of them, and some different friends from different places who are coming back onto the platform very soon. I want to say hello to, but I do want to give a couple of shout outs here. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my buddy. I got this buddy Cortez of mine, this young up and coming wrestler. He's training. He's in school. He's training. He's actually doing the amateur wrestling. I met young Cortez yesterday in Brooklyn. And I did tell Cortez to take the advice of Brohemoth and eat your Wheaties and drink your milk and say your prayers and do all that good stuff. But he's an impressive young man. He's watching right now. He is from upstate New York. And if he continues to do well in school, if he continues to respect his elders and respect people like you and Brohemoth, maybe one day we'll give him a foot in the door and help him train to become a wrestler. He seems hell-bent on that. Why? I have no idea. And I do want to also say hello to a lovely young lady out there also watching this. Her name is Abby. And just like Abbey Road with the Beatles, and she's just as important and a lot more beautiful. And I hope that she's enjoying the show, and I hope that she doesn't fall asleep on us just yet. But thank you very much for tuning in, and you make our day by being here and just seeing your smile. And it was nice seeing you yesterday, and thank you very much. And we're here watching this match with Timothy Titan, the CEO of Money Mark Media, and he is one of the hosts also of the Indie Vision podcast. And we are watching. I mean, I know you know Mr. Orso very well, but what was it like for you, Timothy Titan, watching him up close here? Talk to me about that.
Him in the ring and him outside of the ring was completely different. Him outside of the ring was a concentrated, focused person. But then as soon as he stepped through them ropes, you could see he let the monster out, and a completely different person came out in him. I actually drove him to the airport the next day, and he was very quiet on the ride, thanked me and stuff like that. But I wouldn't have expected that with him in the ring. Like, it's when he gets between them ropes, he turns into a completely different person than he is outside for sure.
You know what that's like? I've had on a lot of athletes. I have a background in college basketball. I used to cover college basketball, and I would sit there, Mr. Titan, and I would talk to a lot of these players that I covered, and I would watch them on the court, right? And then I would talk to them. Either they come here on Sportswire, or I would talk to them, let's say through a text message or whatever. And it's almost like a light goes off. It's like a switch that they turn on where they're maybe mild mannered, almost like Clark Kent. Superman's coming out here soon, and it's almost kind of like KJ Orso's that example. Whereas outside the ring, mild mannered, maybe respectful, certainly polite. But then when he goes out there,
I wouldn't say respectful. I wouldn't say polite or respectful. I would say content at times.
Well, somebody in the chat actually backed me up for saying that. So I'm gonna say thank you, MS, for backing me up, because that was kind of what I thought. But I mean, listen, the point is that
it was a pleasure to work with him. I'm not saying it wasn't a pleasure to work with him. I'm saying I'm not going to be the person to say that he was nice. I'm not going to say that out loud.
Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, that makes sense.
I've seen what that man can do. I've seen what that man can do, and I don't want it done to me.
That makes a lot more sense. But I think the point is it's sometimes guys like him who are so good, they can just turn on a switch and it's just they go out there and they're just on another level. And I think that hopefully
I almost kind of wondered if it was like an energy conservation thing where he was making sure he conserved his energy for the match, making sure he had everything to give once he got there. So that's almost what it felt like to me, where he was making sure he had full energy once the time came.
That's an interesting point. You've been in this for a long time. You've wrestled, obviously. Now you're doing this. You're also in the media. Have you observed this from other guys as well? Do other guys at this level do the same thing, you think, from your vantage point?
I mean, everybody has their own thing. You have guys that show up to the building an hour early and stretch the entire time to their match. And then you have guys that are putting their gear on as their music hits. Like, everybody's so different in this business. That's what's weird, is outside of wrestling, it doesn't seem like wrestlers have a lot in common.
Well, that's kind of like anything in life. I mean, I kind of like anything. I mean, I kind of noticed the same thing. Sometimes you know people like in different worlds, and what bonds you is that one thing. Whereas like anything else, you almost have nothing in common. But wrestling is certainly something that we all have a lot in common for. But obviously, Day, I think, is definitely
wrestling is one of them big things to where if you have it in common with somebody, you can be friends with them even if you have nothing else in common other than that. That's what's fun.
Well, the point here is that because you have a lot to talk about within it, because it's business. You're obviously talking about what's next. You're talking about what you're going to do out there. You're going to have that mindset you want to get into. So there's no question that there's a lot there, even if you have nothing else in common. Maybe you wouldn't even talk about the weather. You wouldn't talk about the stock market with them, but because of wrestling, and we could see Dave Jamieson putting on quite a performance here. I mean, just what a performance Dave Jamieson.
It all out there.
I mean, he said it on here. Listen, we had him on here before it. I mean, he talked about this. He wanted this, and Dave Jamieson definitely shows why he's the Keystone Champion, the USWA Keystone Champion, and shows why that he's been going to all over the place. And he collectively tried to get a win, but he tried.
I got a feeling this kid's gonna win more gold soon too. By the way, there's my bold prediction: is before the end of 2025, Dave Jamieson will win more gold.
I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. I would definitely not be surprised about that whatsoever. That would not shock me one bit. That would not at all. But obviously, Dave Jamieson here is in a little bit of a pickle. He's in a pickle with Mr. KJ Orso, and Mr. Orso is showing why he's a veteran, and he's now trying to wear down Day, and Day's trying to get back up here one more time.
Day comes back from this, though. He comes back from this, man. You got to give this kid. This kid got heart right here.
I know. He had a lot of heart. Bro Hemoth was talking about him on Tuesday's show and saying that sometimes he has too much heart, but. Obviously, listen.
I think that would have been the end for me. I don't see me kicking out of that. I can't believe he kicked out there. That's the kick out that caught me completely off guard. As soon as I saw KJ hit that move, I was like, oh, man.
And KJ, it's funny. Mr. Orso looked the same way. He looked at it as like, I thought this was over. I thought this kid was done. I mean, who is this kid? I mean, that's pretty much what he thought. But you know what happened?
I really think that this match gave Dave Jamieson a chance to prove that he can hang with anybody out there. And I think he proved that point.
No, I agree with you on that. And I think sometimes what happens here is that there's so much on the line. It's almost game 7 of the World Series. It's almost the Super Bowl. It's almost the NBA Finals, the last 2 minutes of it. And I think with Day, he kept fighting because he knew what this was. And look at Day's ability. I mean, Day hasn't even
Oh
scratched the
yeah.
surface. Mr. Titan, I keep saying it, and I bring Day up all the time on here because I just feel like where he was when I first spoke to him, to where he was a month and a half ago, to where he is in this match, and where he'll be probably at the end of the year, I couldn't agree with you more. Day Jameson is going places. And I think that's, to me, what I'm going
Oh
to
yeah.
remember from your first show was Day Jameson, Godric Sandwell, Pepper Pride. These are people you've booked, and they have gone to places and will go to
Brohemoth.
places. Yeah. And Brohemoth. Yes. Well, Brohemoth, we know he's definitely he's already been going places. And,
Uh-huh.
but wait a minute here. Wait a
Now
minute.
this is what I don't like.
Yeah. Well,
Freaking Jace.
well, a man you've interviewed, a man that has been on the Indie Vision Media podcast, and
Yeah.
obviously
He
you
was
know
cool
the
in
history.
interview, but
Well, you know the history between these two. They've got quite a checkered past, and obviously there's the chair that's coming in, and obviously Mr.
I
Carr
was
is
saying
trying
this
to
is
get.
where Fuego shows that veteran. He shows that veteran ability right here, where he recognizes what's going on and realizes he has a chance here, and he's going to take advantage of it, and fully does. Bop. There it is.
Well, you know what? That's why he's the veteran. That's why he's been at the very top in our sport. And yeah, I think as much as Dave Jameson has kept fighting, this one's going to be over. And boy, look who's going to be counting there. And yeah, I don't think Dave Jameson's going to be going anywhere, but maybe saying I give up. But yeah, this one's
Case
over.
Carr don't even got the respect enough to put shoes on to go in there to be a ref. He's in there in socks. Come on, dude.
Well, I don't think he needed to be there very long because the match was going to basically be all she wrote. And
Wearing
yeah.
race car shorts. He's wearing race car shorts and no shoes. Come on, dude. Be professional.
I wouldn't have either of those things, but you know what? Listen, it was all over but the shouting, and Dave Jameson gave it so much. He had so much heart there in that matchup, and certainly he did everything he could. And if you want to watch some more of this other great content, you've got to hit that sub button for the Money Mark Media. You have to. You most certainly have to. And I hope if you are out there, like
content coming very quick. I got about. I see. I got 14 matches ready to go out right now. So
whoa, well, we could do a match a day. You could do a match a day, pretty much.
I'm hoping to do an interview a day and a match a day. Is what my
wow. Plan, so. Well, we got some people in the chat that you might want to interview, and young Cortez, go hit the sub button for Money Mark Media, and that you too, Abby, and thank you for being with us. But all right, let's get to the chat. I want to get to the chat. I want to talk to some people. I want to talk about a few other topics, and let's give everybody a chance to say hello. Plus, I'll have something for you up as well. So we are here with Timothy Titan, of course, the owner of Money Mark Media, one of the hosts of the Indie Vision Wrestling podcast here. So let's get to the people. Speaking of people that are going to be here for the first time, coming up in 15 days from now. 15 days from now, as a matter of fact, Jade May of the WVWF, and she's going to be in action here coming up next week, and we're going to be talking a lot about the WVWF with James Enoch, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger. He was supposed to actually be here this week, but he'll be here next week because, well, technical difficulties and other things happen. He's a Chemical Valley Gunslinger after all. But Jade May is going to be here. She's going to be here on the 25th of July. She'll be here 15 days from now. Very excited about that. And she's got a match here that we're all going to be excited about from our women's champion. Our women's champion is here.
I've seen some of Jade May's stuff. I'm kind of blown away by wherever she lives has Wi-Fi, to be completely honest with you. I didn't know you could get Wi-Fi in a cave, so that's impressive.
Well, you know what? I got to be honest. I love Brohemoth, but I had trouble hearing his Wi-Fi connection on Tuesday's show. So who knows? But the women's champion is here, and if Courtney Wood was here, she'd be saying Phoebe Harper's the women's champion. But Jade May is, and Jade May is going to have plenty to say coming up. So, we'll talk about all that on the 25th. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to meeting you on the 25th of July. Zilla is in the house. Zilla wouldn't miss this for the world. Zilla would not miss this for the world. Thank you very much. Yes. And JC on a pogo stick. What an intro. Hello. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words on the intro. Yeah, I'm glad somebody liked it.
I am.
Yes, we appreciate that very much.
That's the official Money Mark Tim turn right there, by the way. That's
good. Well, good. Thank you for being here as always. Want to say hello to my friend Princess JD, who is a big Justin Parsley fan, but she is a big fan of us here on Sportswire. She was asking me earlier today if I going to be on, because yesterday I wasn't on, because I was doing politics and news yesterday, which to the chagrin of most people, but I'm back here on Sportswire tonight, and we're very happy to see her, and our friends in the IMF will be in your chair next Thursday night. And yes, we're very happy to see Jade. Jade has a lot to say coming up here, and I got to Daniel. I got more comments. I have watched. I love saying that. I have watched some of Summer Bash. I'm going to be watching a lot more because it's all being released one by one, and I'm going to be talking a lot about that next Thursday night. And yes, hit the sub button for our friends here at Money Mark Media. Please do that. I would appreciate that. And who else we have here? I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. D Savage, who's coming on here very, very soon. Mr. Savage, I think, was supposed to be here next Monday. We're going to try to bring him on after that. He's got a couple things to talk about. And he was in the ring with Tommy Invincible, and he's now a champion in 814 wrestling. He's the legacy champion there. Yeah, he's a very big guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you can book on your next show.
I think 814 is just north of me. I don't think that's too far from me, actually.
Yeah, well, and you know what? Godric Sandwell has mentioned D Savage before on here, and he didn't really mention him on his Facebook Live yesterday. And maybe when you have your next show, you can book D Savage versus Godric Sandwell.
I'd book Godric Sandwell versus anybody. So,
well, this guy especially, he's a big guy. He's learning under the tree of Alpha Jr. You know, he's out there in Battlefield Pro Wrestling. Just wrestled Tommy Invincible.
Oh, okay.
The big guy. He's big.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's a big Boston Celtics fan. Don't hold it against him. But he's got muscles, he's got brains, and Alpha Jr. endorses him. So if he endorses him, I'm endorsing him, and you should book him.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. And myself and Shadow destroyed Peanut Butter and Jealous, which is a good point. Obviously, that was the other match that we had talked about on here.
That's another match that's going to be released. Yep. That's another match that's going to be released coming up very soon.
I guess it wasn't Hammer time for Max Hammer, huh?
No, in fact, for the first time ever, I mean, spoiler alert here, somebody besides Max managed to pick up said Hammer.
Well, it's, you know what? That's why maybe Hammer's going bankrupt again. So maybe that's why we won't be seeing too much of that. But obviously, Loveless and Hammer will try to figure out what's next, but Daniel Tafua continues to want big name matches, but we'll figure that all out here shortly. Zilla, thank you very much for that. I'm not sure if Jason Storm is on here, but we'll congratulate him. I got to say hello to a buddy of mine, another businessman who's got a plan. Maybe it'll work well with your plans. His name is Ed Pizzo, and he's got a thing called Dually. Dually's interesting because it's allowing people to compete for championships, wrestlers, rings. It's got a number of different things. You can check it out here because he's going to change the way we challenge each other. And basically, it's people on his website would go head-to-head. They have a chance to win, like I said, a belt, a ring, like a Super Bowl ring, and he's got an idea, and it seems like it's got something, and I've been supporting it for a long time, and you as a astute promoter might think it's a good idea for your product. So if you'd like to see more,
have to look into that. Yeah,
this is a guy that has a plan, has a vision like yours, and one businessman to another. Maybe we'll connect here very soon. Okay. So check it out, duelthat.com, and I think you will not be disappointed. Let's see who else we've got
I'm
here.
definitely going to look into that for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure you do that. Yes, congratulations on that. Yeah. Hello to Felix Jones, and Daniel Tafua also wants to say that you did help him out as well, even though you don't seem to be so much pro Tafua against Behemoth, but he is still giving you kind words.
That's the thing. I'm not anywhere but pro Tafua. He knows I'm pro Tafua. I'm just saying, Behemoth is a different monster, dude.
I know that. No, listen, Behemoth, I had the man on here. He was right next to me, eye to eye.
Behemoth is the boss level.
Yeah, he's like Abby. She's the boss level here. She's going to be the boss of me, hopefully soon. So, obviously we want the bosses, although I'm the one with the big bucks. But the point is that, Broheem is on another level. And yeah, but yes, hello to Felix Jones. I don't see Felix in the chat, but we sort of congratulate him, and we congratulate all of us in spirit. And I don't see Omen Black in here, but I do congratulate him. But let's get to some more things. Mr. Orso was so professional and polite outside of the ring. It was truly a pleasure to work with him. I agree.
Yes.
I absolutely agree. I agree.
I will say professional and polite. Like I said, I just don't want to be the one to call him nice out loud.
Yeah, because you might want to book him again. I understand. Hit the sub button again for Money Mark Media. And there you go. And miss you guys. Well, you're here right now, so don't feel too bad. Don't be in despair. You're here right now. Yeah.
That's security guard Jake right there. Jake
I know. Jake was asking how were you, and he was really looking forward to you coming on. And there you go. One businessman to another. There we go. Duelthat.com. Also, it's like Jade. Okay, because I keep calling her JD. Now it's Jade. Okay, I didn't know because this poor young lady.
Okay.
And I kept calling her JD, but it's Jade. So now it's still, there you go.
Okay.
And speaking of people, before it's going to give me a segue into something, I would think that this is the man that was on here in your chair 2 weeks ago, Kevin from Ring Crew, obviously the CEO of the Indie Vision podcast. And anything you want to say to good old Kevin?
Also the only person that calls me Tim Tam out loud. So that's definitely Kevin.
Well, anything you want to say to Kevin? I mean, obviously, very impressive performance by Kevin on Sportswire a couple of weeks ago. Kevin's got this dream.
Great on here.
Yeah, he did great. The guy was like, "Oh, Kevin, I can't."
You should be looking up footage to send to me to edit, though. Just throwing that out there. Maybe you want to get footage for us to share here.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Never mind. Make the Tim turn do it.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more diplomatic than you, and I'm going to say hit the sub button for the Indie Vision Network, and who knows? Maybe you'll see new names on there. And
Kevin works hard.
Kevin definitely does work hard, and I will also want to say that Kevin, he has a dream. He seems like he doesn't want to be the guy setting up the ring anymore, setting up these stages for these big shows like Metallica and all these other great bands he's involved with. He wants to now.
Not that long ago, too. He did AC/DC like not that long ago.
I know.
That's
we're talking about that. We're talking about, listen, AC/DC, Metallica. We're talking about AEW he's done, WWE. I mean, he's done all that big stuff, a lot of responsibility, but now he seems like he wants to transition. I mean, he's got certainly a lot of goals and a lot of dreams.
He's got a lot of knowledge too. Like he's got to find that place to get him in the ring. So I look forward to seeing Kevin from Ring Crew in an actual ring one time. Because it'd be funny to know he set it up and then wrestled in it.
Has that happened before? Like, has that happened? Can you set the ring up and then wrestle in, like officially being a Ring Crew guy and then wrestling I know people help set up the ring. I know about that stuff. My friend's a pro wrestler, Chris Urban, but like an official Ring Crew guy, all of a sudden then wrestling in the ring right after. I don't know if that's happened before. Kevin from Ring Crew making the first.
I think that's how Mikey Whipwreck started, if I'm not mistaken. So I think in ECW, Mikey Whipwreck technically was Ring Crew when he started wrestling.
You know what? That's a name. It's a blast from the past because we're coming up on the 30-year anniversary of him winning the ECW World Championship. Probably like the greatest underdog world champion ever. I mean, that was a guy that really.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at world champions. He's like the underdog world champion of all time.
Him and Rey Mysterio. Those are probably the two best examples of underdog champions.
Because we're not going to bring up David Arquette being a world champion.
No, because that's not real. That never happened.
Yeah, we're good, and that's why WCW is at him.
What's that called? That was a Mandela effect. We just all remember it, but it never really happened.
Yeah, you know what? That's just one of those things. Like, Vince Russo was a world champion. Vince McMahon was a world champion. Yeah, I don't know why I said his name, but yeah, that's why wrestling is an interesting place. It's a really interesting place. But we also want to get to some
more. Interesting is a good
comments.
way to put it.
I'm trying to be very diplomatic because we were also in blabbermouth.net recently. I want to keep I need to keep just like you as a businessman, I need to keep the gravy train rolling because I need to keep that continuing. But Daniel Tafua is on a different level, and I need to get him back on my platform. I just can't get the days right with him, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, Kevin, I love Kevin from Raincoat. Yeah, we love Kevin. Hit the sub button for the Indie Vision Network, please do. And here's some more comments. Please let me know any show. I will work them and help you guys out. You guys are great people. You guys are my family. Love you guys. There's so many people that are so curious and when Timothy Titan will do something next. I think a lot of people are really hoping that there'll be something soon from you.
I'm hoping by September or October to have all of that figured out. So I'm hoping to be back up and running something by October, realistically.
Good. Well, we're all.
I want to be able to be more independent this time. I don't want to rely on renting a building. I don't want to rely on renting a ring. So I think I'm going to take the time to get everything I need to just kind of be an independent source.
It's a great idea. You know what? And why not do it yourself? I mean, DIY. I mean, do it all. Just do it. And you know what? Ed Pizzo's done it with Dooley, and you can do it. If anyone can do it, Kevin can, I believe. And Jade is working on painting action figures. And thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. We will promote that. That's very kind of you. And also, let's get to Kevin has been trying to figure out new content. However, is at a loss. Well, that's no. You think he's been at a loss for content?
I mean, I would say number one, maybe Kevin shouldn't refer to himself in third person like that. That's kind of weird. But then number two, I would say just grab some stuff and give it to me, bro. I'll edit it.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll find out. I mean, Kevin, he's looking for new guests. Obviously, we'll see. I mean, maybe you'll see.
Please message us about guests, by the way. A lot of our issue is we get guests and then they'll cancel hours before or reschedule hours before. So we're having a lot of trouble getting a guest to actually commit to the time they say we can do the show. So.
Well, I shouldn't do this, but maybe I should do it because obviously my friend Abby and Cortez are a little upset with me at the moment. But sorry, guys. I think I said something they didn't like, but I do apologize. But maybe I should come on one day. Maybe I should come on the Indie Vision Network sometime. Maybe
I'm telling you, please.
All right, maybe.
It'd be a good time.
Well, I don't know if anybody would tune in, though.
But at the same point, it'd be fun to ask you about all your past interviews and stuff like that. That's the thing. You've probably interviewed enough. You've interviewed so many interesting people that you have to have some stories, even if you just heard.
I have stories, but I don't know if anybody would tune into them. I feel like people they want to tune into you and Kevin and Tommy Horror, and I mean, if you're thinking on
a live perspective, though, brother. I edit all that stuff, so. It's gonna be post live views. We're gonna be edit it all down, make you look all fancy.
Nah, I'm one of these people. You know what? Unfortunately, my friend Abby, obviously my lovely friend Abby, who I like to be more than friends with. I just go. I'm just. There's no filter. I just go. I go with it. We don't do take 2, take 3, take 4, take 95 on here. We just go with it. We don't do editing. We don't do replays. We just go with it. So whatever I say, we're just going with it. We're not, I'm not asking you, hey, I'm not asking you, hey, can you take that out? No, it's just that's how it goes, But yeah, what is?
I was more thinking like you bring up somebody and I could put like a fancy picture of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, yeah, you might do that, and also the share the screen button. I'm gonna have to show you that. Maybe we'll figure something out here.
I figured that out, actually. I figured that out. We did a Kabod interview recently, and I figured out how to do the share screen thing. I got it.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one because that's a man that's also supposed to come on here. I also have to figure out the day of him coming on here. I obviously has quite a story, a man, and that has quite a career, quite a history, and he's a man that I
absolutely
definitely
amazing story, by the way. There's few better stories. There's few better actual underdog stories in wrestling than Kabod.
Yeah, I definitely. He and I have spoken. I need to get him on it. And Jade basically is telling you don't have Anthony Steele on your show. Yeah, you have only if you're in a pinch. Yeah, because he'll say things that you may or may not want to hear. But let's get to some more comments. Yes, hello to the Indie Vision Network. Also, he's going to hate this, but working with Tim was the easiest time I've ever had in the business. I respect Tim a ton, and that's not just because we're friends and business partners. The kind words for you there. But again, you don't want nice. You keep saying you want to just be professional. You've been saying no, you don't want it nice.
I'll take it, though. I'll take any compliments I can get at this point.
That might be me and you at this point, because my friend Abby seemed to be upset with me. I hope she's not upset anymore. And hello to Cortez, and hopefully they're not upset. Yeah, well, look, it happens. What can you do? But they're still great. But also, who else we got here? Yeah, you never know. Listen, maybe I'll be there one day. Why not? Maybe me, Abby, and Cortez will go on a road trip. We never know. Pennsylvania, West Virginia.
I see you had a friend at our show in Pennsylvania, I believe, right?
Yes, my buddy Silas Walker. Did you get a chance to meet Silas Walker? My friend Silas Walker. Silas Walker, a longtime friend of mine. Yes, he told me that he enjoyed the show. He got a chance to talk to some of the guys, and he was very excited. He loved the show. I was so, that's why I was kind of bummed, Mr. Titan, about what happened like right after, because he was so excited about the show. People were messaging me how excited they were about that show and the previous the following weekend. And it was like, I was looking forward to talking about it. And then, stuff hit the fan, literally.
Yeah, that's why it made me realize I need to be more independent, though, in the end, is I need to get it to where I'm not relying on other people. So it was a learning opportunity in the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's what can you do? I mean, it's what can you do? But yeah, he was really excited about it. He was telling me, actually, I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it on here because, like I said, I'm just unfiltered. He was telling me during the show, every match, he was giving me updates. He was pumping me up. And I was like, man, I can't wait to talk about this on Sportswire. And then, what happened? Like, right afterwards.
I mean, that's the thing. The show still happened. It wasn't on any of the workers. They were all still absolutely
No.
It's not.
It's not.
That's what I mean. We can still talk about the matches. We can talk about the talent matches and stuff like that.
Well, I think you said. Well, I think we're going to put the link up in a minute. I want to give you something, but I think ultimately you're going to be releasing some of these matches. I'm sure have you on in the next few weeks, and we'll talk about them. And and I'm sure we'll get
to figure out do you know how to. Here's my next question for you. How do I stop this thing from auto-focusing and blurring me out?
So you might want to look at you might want to come back in and out. Maybe you might want to do so actually if you go on the bottom, you should have something that says settings. And if you go into settings,
there we go. Okay.
Now there you go. See?
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, you look a lot. Now you look like $1 million. Now you look like maybe Abby will want to just hear from you rather than me. And there we go. I don't edit it all.
I shaved my sideburns recently, man. You still got them chops. You're still.
I can't. You know what? I can't. You know what? It's like this is my thing. I've had it. It was funny. I was showing. I guess I'll say I was showing her one of my photos before the mutton chops, and people were like, "You're like, wow, you look different." Yeah, I mean, I've had him for almost 7 years. Yeah, so it's a different thing. But
I should say that Tim Turn does edit a lot of stuff for me. I will say that.
Oh, well, obviously, yeah, I think it's toward you, not me. But I don't do any editing. Once you use what you get, I do edit the clips. Those I do. But, I do have something for you before I transition here for a few more minutes, because I have something special for you, Kevin and Tommy. I know that we're still working hard. We're obviously continuing to move forward and growing the Indie Vision podcast, but I think it's the right time to do it. And I am sure that you'll all appreciate this, because congratulations, the Indie Vision podcast is
on. Oh, buddy. Let's go. 2-time Hall of Famer, by the way. Let's go.
Well, I had to do it because you know why? Because you're going to put out more content. There'll be more names on here. And I figured, why not? Why not get in front of it before you guys just become bigger and bigger than here, and bigger and badder and better. And you guys will just take over here.
We got a lot of catching up to do for you, so we got a lot of catching up to catch up to you. So
you got Bro Emmett, Jace Carr, Dave Jameson, Godric Sandwell. No, you guys are great. No, you guys. Let me tell you something. I enjoyed the podcast. I really did enjoy them. I was listening to a couple of podcasts recently, and it was like pulling a $2 steak. One of my guests was who's coming on Sunday, an indie wrestler in Arkansas, was on a podcast, and it was like it wasn't bad, but yours was like. It was on another level. Then I heard another one somebody we know did. It was okay, but it was like nothing. I heard nothing about what we talk about here in our scene. So I was like, let me go honor you guys and get to it. And yeah, you'll see this wide. It'll mean more, and I'm looking forward to seeing more content for sure.
It's going on the wall. It's going on the wall.
Good. I'll give you the physical copy and all of it, and and maybe we'll see more of it, and maybe Tommy Horror will maybe come back to the wrestling world. I mean, maybe you can change his mind to do some shows with you, because he said he was done. He was giving things up, and hopefully he'll come back, because I saw him bring the guitar back out on July 4th, but maybe instead he can come back and maybe help you out with these shows.
I think that regardless of what happens with me, Tommy will be there with me, and so will Kevin. So we're kind of the three amigos at this point. If one of us does something, the other two are going to follow. So,
well, that's
I think if
point.
I do decide to start booking again, Tommy will come back with me.
I would like to see that, because I think that what you guys had brought to the table, and we'll certainly see. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally. We're all music and wrestling matters. We're here for a little while longer with Timothy Titan. He has now fixed his camera. He is the owner of Money Mark Media. He is also one of the hosts of the Indie Vision Wrestling podcast. You can check out their content on YouTube. You can check out Money Mark Media also on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You can also, on the YouTube page of Money Mark Media, watch the match everybody's talking about between Dave Jamieson and KJ Orso. And we're here tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time with Dalton Skull. That's right, Dalton Skull we're here at 9:30 with. Saturday, we're here also at 9:30 with Austin Edwards. And we're here Sunday night with Joey Knight Jr. at 8 o'clock Eastern. So we've got a busy slate of shows ahead. We'll see how we do. But we're here for a little while longer with Timothy Titans. Okay, so obviously...
That's a big weekend for you.
Well, I mean, people want to come on. They're like, I was off yesterday, and people like, where were you? I promoted myself. I'm doing a news show, and nobody really cared. They're like, where's Sportswire? I'm like, okay, I'm going to be back. Don't worry. I'm going to make up for it. Yeah, it's nothing like being here. So, no, I mean, we have... I'm here almost every day at this point. I mean, it's, that's funny. I was actually late here by a few minutes. I wanted to get to my studio set up at my house a little earlier, but I passed by my friend's house in the neighborhood in Brooklyn, and they were like, oh, why'd you just take off again? I'm like, nah, I was off yesterday. And, I hadn't seen one of the guys since COVID. And he was like, I'm like, no, I'll catch up with you. But yeah, I hadn't seen him since COVID. Yeah, unfortunately, I hadn't seen one of these guys. Actually, two guys. I hadn't seen two guys since COVID. One of the guys, I didn't even remember what he looked like. And the other guy I had seen before here and there, but not since COVID. I've seen him on Instagram and stuff like that. And he got married since the last time I saw him. Yeah, I'm not married, but I'm married to Sportswire. That's what I'm married to. Hopefully, that's what I'm married to.
That money. You're married to that money like a player.
Well, I got the big bucks from outside of sports. I really do have the big bucks. You might want me to promote the shows, but we're going to leave it at that. You're the best. You do all the great things about it. So obviously, we've seen Dave Jamieson. We've talked a lot about Daniel Tafu. We've talked about Brohemoth. Pepper Pride we touched upon. We talked about Godric Samuel. Is there anybody else that you're keeping an eye on here coming up for whatever your future is?
Hype Man Dan Lasers. I know you had him on here with
I had Chris Phoenix. I had Chris Phoenix on about 3 weeks ago. He's been in WVWF, and he and Dan Lasers are tag teaming in the WWF. Yes, they're
I was going to say, well. Dan Lasers and Chris Phoenix. Those are two dudes I think you should keep your eye on. They're going to be tagging and doing singles work. So those are definitely two dudes.
Wrestle Pride, by the way. Wrestle on your show.
Another match that will be coming out very soon. Fully edited. Just get ready to release it.
Dan Lasers is a guy a lot of people were high on. A few months ago, he came on here, and he obviously certainly had a lot of potential. He's got some charisma. And I think it's interesting about him and Chris Phoenix, because tell me your thoughts on this from afar. I kind of think that they complement each other for a couple of reasons. Dan Lasers got obviously a lot of charisma. He's got something that makes you want to gravitate toward him. Then you've got Chris Phoenix, who's got certainly some of his own wrestling ability, kind of almost a mysterious figure. And I kind of think, tell me your thoughts, that they kind of complement each other, and they could be a really fascinating team going forward.
I completely agree with that. You said about Chris Phoenix being a mysterious figure. I've still yet to see that dude without the mask on.
I had him on. No, he was basically adamant that this is who he is. This is not.
Yeah,
that's what he lives with. This is no.
I saw him. You know? I saw him in a sheets after a show one time, wearing the mask. So I mean, you said about him being mysterious, and that is such a good way to put it.
Because he had a lot of. Again, there's just something about him that I think people are going to find him in places wherever it may be. With Dan Lasers, I mean, you don't know how to prepare for them. Those two guys, what they can do in the ring, how they come about. I absolutely think that you really don't know how to plan for these guys, and they could be walking away with gold somewhere if the opportunity presents itself.
I'd say it's two very different styles, but two styles that complement each other very well also. Like they're two completely different people, but somehow it works super well when it's them two. I don't quite get it, to be completely honest, but I give them credit because it definitely works.
Yeah, I definitely think that what they can bring to the table, and I think that's why a lot of people are going to be really excited about them. And I think that Dan Lasers showed in the ring. He's been in there with some big people already, you know, mentioning Pepper Pride, being out there in the room with Pepper Pride. And I think that that's going to be fascinating. I think it'll be interesting to see whatever happens with Loveless and Hammer, what their future may be. I don't know what the future there may be for them and in places that you may have an eye on. I'm certainly always paying attention to one Joshua Kavad. I'm always paying attention to that man. Man, I am always paying attention to him.
He's always somebody to watch for sure in anything. Like you could put him in there with a garbage bag and it'd be worth watching, I bet.
Yeah, you know what? That's an interesting way to put it. That's an interesting way to put that. That is really, really interesting. That's a good. I hadn't thought of it that way, but people do want to tune into him. And how is Coney Island looking? I mean, well, it's going. I mean, it's certainly got Nathan. He's got the amusement parks, but you know, it's a tourist experience, I suppose. But you know, definitely you'll pay $20 for a hot dog. I mean, I don't know if I'm paying $20 for a hot dog, but I'd rather pay $20 to see a Money Mark Media show. That's what I would rather do.
You don't even have to.
I know.
$15, 15. Yeah. In fact, if you pay $15, you got $5 and can get 2 hot dogs.
You know what? And you know what? I was listening to a podcast the other day of one of my guests coming on. I already spoiled it, Joey Knight Jr., and he didn't even get the $5 with the hot dog. So, you know, the hot dog and a handshake, the old depression there. Yeah, the hot dog and a handshake there. Yeah, that's, you know, and maybe we'll see more of Jace Carr and Dave Jamieson somewhere, especially after what I saw from you. I have to think that those two aren't done by a long shot.
I could see Jace Carr popping up anywhere Dave Jamieson goes. That's the thing. It's a very personal issue for Jace Carr at this point. So anywhere Dave Jamieson ends up, I wouldn't be surprised if Jace Carr's not lurking far behind looking to cause some ruckus.
And then I would even say, because somebody that's lurking that I haven't mentioned that was on Sportswire, Ampo the Destroyer. I mean, talk about guys that certainly are very, very interesting, just putting it that way. Ampo the Destroyer. I mean, that's a guy that I'm sure maybe we'll see somewhere soon from whatever you do in the future.
That's another dude that's definitely going to be just one step behind Dave Jamieson, but in a different way than Jace, that's for sure. That's a dude who got Jameson's back for sure. So if Jace Carr, if you're lurking, just know you might have to get past a pretty big dude in a mask. So.
You know what? And that could maybe be evening the odds that we know the collective. We know that those are guys that are together. And let me get to Kevin here. Are we doing hot dog deals now? 2 for $5? That's a steal. You know, 2 for $5 for a hot dog.
You can either get 2 hot dogs or 2 hamburgers.
You know,
that's the deal.
I like the hamburger deal more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Especially if there's cheese involved.
That's even more of a deal. That's a steal almost. It's almost like you're stealing the things. Yeah, that could certainly be interesting points there. Yeah, I mean that's stuff that we'll find out, and maybe we'll see more when it comes to what you have here in the future. Some names that we haven't seen before. That's what makes it so interesting. This is why maybe getting a chance to retool, getting a chance to start over a bit and take a breather could even make Money Mark Media even bigger.
And I want to bring up one name that I will promise you that I will do everything in my power to find a way to be able to book Mickey Knuckles again.
Oh, Mickey Knuckles.
I miss having Mickey in the locker room, and I want nothing more than to start getting her around again. So that's going to be the main person I focus on.
Oh, Mickey Knuckles is just, I mean, you want to talk about somebody I've been talking about for over a year. I've been talking about Mickey Knuckles, POR, X-Brand Wrestling now. I mean, Mickey Knuckles has been all over. Really one of the toughest wrestlers, period, pound for pound. I mean, to have Mickey
in general,
Knuckles,
yeah.
Yeah, you got to get
one
Mickey
of my
Knuckles.
favorite matches of all time still to this day that I got to see live was around 8 years ago. I saw Mickey Knuckles versus Sue Young.
Whoa, okay.
Brought the house down. Brought the house down.
Wow. You know what? That's Rich Swann's wife. Wow. Well, that's, whoa. Okay. Well, by the way, that's a name you should book.
Absolutely. Oh, I've reached out to Sue a couple times now. Trust me. She's on the short list.
Yeah, there's a few names I could help you out on the short list. I think D Savage would like to wrestle Godric Sandwell, by the way. And Mickey Knuckles versus Tommy Hara. No, I think Tommy Hara, he needs to play the guitar. Let him play the guitar. Yeah. Let Tommy play the guitar. That's not nice. We don't want to see that. You know, we want to see Mickey Knuckles wrestle someone else. We want Mickey Knuckles to be in the ring with a lot of people. I mean, there's people I could see that you would like to book, and maybe we'll have to find out some of those things. I mean, is there anything else on your mind that you want to promote, or anything else that we haven't got a chance to cover and such since you've last been? I know we've talked a lot about the future. We've talked about the Indie Vision podcast. I may want to come on. All right, if you're in a pinch, I may come on because I do podcasts.
Oh, yes,
I haven't been on a podcast in a while, but maybe we can talk off the air about scheduling something in the next few days. Would have to match your schedules, but I'm usually, when it comes to podcasting, pretty flexible because this is something I've done more than anything else. So I know the routine. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. Is there anything else that you want to cover that we haven't got a chance though?
Nancy, you brought up Godric. I would say look up. You brought the three names up that are my biggest promoter. I want to promote Dave Jameson. I want to promote Pepper Pride, and I want to promote Godric Sandwell, as well as our stuff. But those are the three I think that need to get more eyes, that don't have enough eyes on them currently.
Yeah,
Here's another bold prediction. Prediction. Pepper Pride will be on the PWI Top 500.
I said that I said it a few times. To me, that's a no-brainer. Listen, Pepper Pride.
No-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. What she's done this year, she will be on the women's top. I think it's 150. I think they do a women's 150. She will be on that list without even breaking a sweat this year, because look at where she's been. Yeah. Look at what she's done. That's a no-brainer. To me, Pepper Pride. And like I said, I got to give a big plug to this because she is wrestling coming up in Canada, north of the border. Boy, I hope she's got her passport because she's going to need it. And who knows, maybe we'll watch Pepper Pride somewhere big. And she's going to be there alongside James Fury. And there she is. It's going to be the Hogs for Hospice Healthcare Motorcycle Rally over in Leamington, Ontario. It's right across the border practically from Michigan. And Pepper, your Indie Vision champion, is going to be there. And Pepper has been all over the place. I mean, you want to talk about somebody? I'd probably say this year.
I remember right, talking to her, this is also a what's a convention. So that's why 2 days. So you can actually go there and do like a good meet and greet with her and get your picture taken with her too and stuff. So
yeah, they do these shows sometimes. It's conventions, like they do them in Ohio. I know Rhino was promoting one. They do them in, I know Jade's in the chat. They do them in Iowa. They're really cool things. You watch a wrestling show. In fact, they're doing one. I was promoting one like 3 months ago. They were doing one in, I think, Texas, either Texas or Tennessee in October. So it's a big thing. And I guess, I guess the belt goes across the border, right? Because Pepper's the champion.
Yep. That's right. It definitely goes. Also, from what I believe, she got the belt signed by Teddy Long and Rob Van Dam at a convention recently. Also, so I
Rob
think
Van
that
Dam is having a baby.
Yes, I think that the leather on the inside of the Indie Vision title is now signed by Teddy Long and Rob Van Dam. So,
well, that's why we are very happy about that. We're happy that she's our champion, and just like Abby's our champion or my champion. But obviously, we're going to certainly switch lines here. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a great show. Obviously, my buddy James Fury, who should be on one of these posters here, but we got Pepper's poster, and there we go.
ooh,
now I can show it. Yeah,
too. That's going to be a good match. Really, I didn't see the match graphic until just now.
You know what? I was actually
going to be a really good match.
Well, let me put it up back. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I did see this, and I know I have to talk about it. Yeah, if maybe one day we'll talk more about it with Pepper Pride herself, but she's always in the ring. I mean, Pepper is the definition of being busy. I think she's wrestled this year. I want to think maybe 35 matches already, 35, 40 matches. Been in the room about that much. Thinking about it more today.
The majority of Fridays and Saturdays, she seems to be booked already. So,
well, do the math. 20 weeks, 20 plus weeks in the year so far. So, I would say about 35, 40 matches. That's what I kind of had on my paper there. And also, speaking of there's NCG Wrestling. Go check them out. It's Hogs for Hospice. It's already August is already coming up. Time certainly flies, and you can see some of the stuff there. And
there's Soul Taker too.
I saw that. You've got a lot of big names here, a lot of big names, a lot of big wrestlers. And if you want to go to Canada, you can go check it out. You got a lot of big names, Pax Calloway. You got Pepper Pride, my buddy. That's who I was looking for. My buddy James Fury, who is always talked about on here. And James and I go back. I have a friend of mine in California, Darrow Johnson, who has been talking about James Fury since he basically became a pro. So, shout out to James. Shout out to my buddy Darrow Johnson. Shout out to my friend Jack Delta, who basically grew up with James Fury. And check all that out. And also, as a reminder for people here, Indie Vision Podcast, Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And I'll give the physical copy. And we'll talk about a date. And she is the Harpy Queen. And and she'll kill you if you think otherwise. Because Pepper in the ring, I mean, listen, she's going toe-to-toe with a lot of people. Some of them she hasn't been as successful with, but understandably so. But most of the people she's been in the ring with, she's done a heck of a job. And that's why we're very honored that she is the Indie Vision Podcast champion. And we appreciate all that she does. I mean, like I said, Mr. Titan, I agree with you. I think it'll be a no-brainer that she'll be in the PWI 150 this year, the women's 150.
You know what? I'll give a more bold prediction. I'm going to put her in the top 50.
I don't know about 50 because what WWE, right? WWE, AEW is going to dominate, right? Impact, close maybe.
There's about 19.
Yeah, because you got Impact, right? You're going to put at least 4 from Impact, 4 or 5. AEW is going to have maybe 6 or 7. WWE is going to have, a dozen? Maybe a couple of names recently released by WWE, like Shotzi Blackheart, going to throw in there.
Yeah.
Artist formerly known as Cora Jade, so you're going to throw in there. Are you, all right, maybe. I mean.
Priscilla Kelly. Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
I mean, all right, could 50. I'm going to say 100. I want to go top 100. I want to be safe. Okay. I want to treat it like how I go invest in the stock market. I've always been a conservative.
I'm going to put my over under. I'm going to put my over under at 48.
That's what I tell you what. If you come back, all right, I'm going to do something with you, Mr. Titan. You're a good man, Mr. Titan. I'm gonna. Despite what they said about you, despite what you did in LAW, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something that I'm going to certainly make a promise here on Sportswire, and I'm going to do it anyway. But I'm going to put my money where my mouth is because I know I can cash the check. If Pepper Pride is in this year's PWI top 48, I will buy 1 ticket of your next show. I'm going to do it anyway. But if she gets into the PWI, the top 48 of the women's 150, not only will I buy 1 ticket, I'll buy 2. I'll buy 2 tickets for her. So I'll buy 1 extra ticket. So, but I'm going to buy a ticket regardless. I'm going to buy a ticket regardless. But I'm going to tell you that I will buy at least 2 tickets.
Okay. I like it.
I'm a businessman. My IMF people are here next Thursday in your chair. I'm donating 2 tickets to their return to the ring. Your next show, I'll donate 2 tickets. Maybe Abby and Cortez, they'll go without me because Cortez, he wants to choke me out now, and Abby just wants to now go without me. So maybe they'll just go and we'll donate the tickets. But you know what? You never know. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, look, if I was doing it, I would put Pepper Pride in the top 25, but you just got to think about it realistically. How many names are in WWE? How many names are in AEW? How many names are in Impact? That alone is probably going to get you to the top 25. Then you got to think about people that are maybe Mexico. You got to think about Japan. You got to think about Impact is going to have half a dozen or close to it. Then you're going to have maybe.
So don't forget, Pepper's technically in Impact.
Yeah, true.
So
true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say safely top 100. I'm gonna say like 69, so 70. I'm gonna say some number like that. That's just it's realistic. Yeah, it's realistic. Yeah. I mean, look, I think she's getting there. I think it's a no-brainer. I don't know what the number is, but I'll donate an extra ticket because I think it'll happen. I want to make sure that you win something, Mr. Titan. And all right, we're going to get to closing thoughts here in a minute. And I want to also here put up your social media. I want to put up the Money Mark Media social media because I want to do that one more time before we sign. And speaking of people that are here, my man that was here on Sunday, Mr. James Taylor, the legendary Nemesis James Taylor, who used to be the host of the Nemesis sessions. Yeah, he's got 130,000 followers on social media. And follow Money Mark Media on Facebook. Follow it on Instagram. You can check out some of the stuff and keep in the loop about what's ahead. And James will definitely be here Friday. And speaking of other people who showed up, my hall monitor of Sportswire Radio, Mr. Justin Parsley, who was the PWF champion, but he's not. But he is saying all wrestling matters. I agree with him. I'm glad that he feels that way because I do think it's all wrestling matters. And I love all the wrestlers that come on here. I love all the people in the chat. I love everybody that comes
dash, my man.
It is. Yeah, he really had a deep dash. You got a haircut too, by the way.
Got a deep gash right there. God damn.
He did. He was in a steel cage match with Omen Black, and Omen Black certainly gave him, a receipt of who he was to remember him by. And now he just has no hair now, Justin Parks. He has very little hair. I mean, some people might want to just take all of my hair off. And then Justin Parsley literally did it. He beat us to the punch. I'm not cutting my hair. Don't you worry about that. But yes, it does matter. And it does matter. Yes, it all matters. And all of my people here matter. And I love everybody. Like Ozzy said, I love everybody. I love every one of you. And I really want to thank Cortez, young Cortez, wrestling standout, and Abby. And if you are here, go follow Money Mark Media on Instagram. And maybe you'll book Justin Parsley. Maybe you'll book James Taylor on your shows. Maybe that's why they're here. You're an owner. You're a promoter. These are obviously wrestlers who have been big draws. They've been in front of hundreds of people. They have massive followings. Justin Parsley's also a DJ. If you need a DJ, he can DJ. He's also hosted Jeopardy Trivia, and he's well-spoken, well-liked, and maybe you want to book these guys in the ring. You never know.
I'm open to anybody at a point. Yeah, if I see some footage, I'm open to anybody.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure.
Dude, we all started. Here's it, Taylor. I'm gonna tell Taft Taylor. We all started on a trampoline, bro. That's the thing. We were all 12 years old doing wrestling moves on each other on a trampoline at a point. So that's where we all started at the end of the day.
Well, you know what? I haven't been on a trampoline, but I'm sure Cortez wants to bounce me off the trampoline, and so does Abby. She'll count the 1, 2, 3. But I was never on a trampoline because I didn't have a trampoline. But I'm happy to bounce in and out of the chat and read your comments. But yeah, listen, I love it all. I definitely appreciate everybody out here, and also versus a teddy bear. You want to wrestle a teddy bear?
Teddy bear never stood a chance.
Well, that's true too. Yes, James has been in many rings, and yeah, we'll send you some of his content. We'll send you Justin's content. We'll see. You're always looking for new talent, and and if you want to follow Timothy, by the way, and if you guys, you know what, James, if you are looking to maybe get yourself some more content, some more coverage, Indie Vision Network YouTube channel. You can check it out on YouTube. You can check it out here. Hit the sub button for them. You can see some of their content.
You better come in ready to find out if you're smarter than a fifth grader, though.
Well, I already said I'm not. So I mean, I know I'm going to lose. So I'm
It's
not.
harder to be
Obviously.
fake, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Because you don't know the questions.
Yeah. I'm still blown away by the fact that Godric Sandwell missed the first great question.
And he's Godric Sandwell.
Yeah, he has books behind him. All he does is read books.
Well, that's what he should read, the books of the questions you're giving him.
Yeah,
well,
he didn't read about Australia, evidently.
Well, Justin Parsley, well, we're going with the comments. These guys want to talk, and I'll keep going. Backyard deathmatch promo, indie, professional, amateur, unscripted, trampoline, pool. Is there pool wrestling, by the way? Do they do that? Bears, Carney, almost all of it matters. And apparently,
I've seen like pool table wrestling.
Well, I didn't know that existed, but I mean, I'm sure there are people that want to slam my head through the pool and the thing. But James Taylor said he's done pool wrestling. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that. That was a thing. And we've got just when you think you know the answers, Tim forgets the book. And please get in contact. Yes, and I know how to get in touch with Timothy Titan. Don't worry. I know how to get in touch with them. They know how to get in touch with me. I'm an easy man to find. They know that. So, yeah, we'll be on the podcast. Yeah, I'll on.
I'll send you to the Tim turn for scheduling.
Yeah, I'll come you. Yeah, I will come on the podcast. Yeah, I'll do it. You know what? At this point, we'll do it. We'll come on to the podcast. And James Taylor has a YouTube channel, and I'm going to plug it. He's got 40,000 subscribers, and maybe he's opining that. He got 40,000. Yeah, he's been around a long time. He's got 40,000 subscribers. He's definitely been around. A lot of people would like him to take over for me. A lot of people feel he would be a better host, and maybe people feel that he could do a better job. And who's in New York again? Who's in New York? Who's in New York? Somebody put a comment. Who's in New York? I don't know who's in New York. I'm in New York. Yes. I'm in New York City. Yeah, I'm in Staten Island. That's where I'm in. That's not true, Tom. No, I think James would definitely like to cut. James definitely wants to host. He definitely wants to take over. And who's winning what? Who's winning up? But okay, we'll have to find out. But all right, let's pass the baton to you. Obviously, if you have any closing thoughts, anything else you want to plug, share, or say, the floor is yours. Take it away, my friend.
Check it out. Check out the Money Mark Media stuff. Check out Indie Vision. Check out Dave Jameson. Check out Daniel Tafua. Check out Godric Sandwell. Check out Pepper Pride. Check out anywhere wrestling in Pittsburgh. Just check out wrestling. Everybody get your eyes on wrestling. That's the big thing I want to promote is go watch wrestling and just enjoy it.
Absolutely. Wrestling, I said this when Brohemoth was on 2 days ago. Wrestling is the thing that brings us together. Wrestling is the thing that can unify us. Enough about the division, enough about this person said this person said that. We're all on the same team. It doesn't matter what form of wrestling, doesn't matter what company, well, with the exception or two. It doesn't matter who you're wrestling. It doesn't matter gender, race. It doesn't matter sexual orientation. It doesn't matter what type of wrestling and what experience you have. We're all fans. We all love this sport. We all appreciate it. And I say it all the time on here. I appreciate everybody who puts their blood, sweat, and tears out there. You mean more to me than anything else. Wrestling is the thing. I talk to people from all walks of life, but wrestling to me, you could be in touch with somebody from overseas, from another country, another language, and you're all on the same team. And to me, that's what it's all about. And yes, I'm staying well. I'm going to continue, and I'm going to continue my best and to try to spread that gospel, spread that good word, because I appreciate everybody that comes on here every night, tunes in. I appreciate my friend Ed Pizzo from Dooley. Definitely going to connect you with the chat with Eddie. I want to talk to you about that.
I'm definitely going to check that. I'm definitely going to check that out once we get off
Eddie,
the air.
We'll talk about that when we're off the air. Eddie's got an idea. He's got a plan. And I thank everybody. I want to thank my buddy Cortez. I want to thank the lovely Abby for being out there, just putting up with some of my comments, putting up with it. And Timothy, thank you so much for all you do, Mr. Titan, for our sport. Thank you for all Tommy Horror does, Kevin from Ring Crew. The best is yet to come. Please support the Indie Vision podcast, Money Mark Media. Check out more information from them. I'll be on their show real soon. And also, we'll be here tomorrow night. Hit the sub button for these guys. Check them out on all social medias. Hit our social media platform, likes, follows, subscribes. You already done it, but do it again and do it 10 times over. Congratulations, my friend. I'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. I'll see you soon. And until then, thank you so much for all that you do for our sport, and congratulations.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, that was Timothy Titan, the man that put on a number of different things you've seen, especially when it comes to being one of the hosts of the Indie Vision podcast alongside Kevin from Ring Crew and Tommy Horror. He is also the owner of Money Mark Media, put on their first show last month. Stay tuned for more of it. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, we're going back to your regularly scheduled programming. We'll see you here tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Dalton Skull. And thank you for everybody. Thank you, Zilla. Yes, hello to Justin Parsley. Thank you, everybody that's joined us. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the #1 global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.